Good morning and welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. Good start when you can't remember who you are and what you are. But it's lovely to have you join me on this, what is here as I go live, a Monday morning in the UK. A little bit of sunshine trying to poke through on this February morning, and it is actually Valentine's Day today. So I hope you have time to join us. You're not too busy opening cards and dealing with all the post that is coming through the door. But happy Valentine's Day to you all, and obviously sending my love to you all. Lots of love being spread around on this February the 14th. So if it's not February the 14th while you're watching, we're spreading love anyway. But do pop on if you're live and say hello, good morning to Jackie, and leave a message and a comment, even if you're watching catch up elsewhere. And we always love to hear from you, hear where you're joining us from, what you're up to, all of those sorts of things, and what you think of what we're creating. How you would like to use the ideas, all of those sorts of things, and do while you're there, like, join, follow. So let me bring in my downward camera. I've treated myself to a new light, so we do have a little ring on there. Let's just move that up a little bit. Morning, Claire. So this is who I am, Love-a-Duckie, Helen Jennings, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and you can find me on my website at www.loveaduckie.co.uk. And if you look out for Love-a-Duckie on Pinterest, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, all of those places, that's where you'll find me. So do come and hang out, do like, follow, join, share, all of those things. So we're hoping that the bit of light might help our camera, because it is a little bit overcast on a February morning here in the UK. So let's quickly run through a bit of news. If any of you are local and have never joined me, or UK based anyway, never joined me for our games night, we had one of those on Friday. Good fun. 2 games of bingo, a very bizarre quiz based on catalogue items. We now all know facts about, I don't know, whales and tulips and things that we didn't know before. And we do 3 little craft projects. So I've had to borrow my son's fiance's daffodil card because mine's gone off in a kit somewhere. But yeah, we made a little thanks daffodil card kit. We made a little bookmark, and we made a little ladybug wallet with some string and paper clips in it that says I'm here to help you hold it together. So 3 little cute projects that we made on our games night. So if you are here local in the UK and fancy joining us for a future games night, I think the next one is in April, something like April the 8th. So yeah, do sign up and come and join us for a bingo night. That would be good fun. Can't quite make it international really, but yeah, certainly if you're here in the UK, do come and join us. So what other news? I have just printed out some posters and things to add to my collection on the latest kits. So the Light the Candles kit is now available if you want some gorgeous birthday cards in a nice kit form, or you'd like a present for somebody to give them that. And also the Celebrate Today magnet board kit, which is just a beautiful kit, a great present as well as a gorgeous kit to create. So those 2 kits are now available on the website while stocks last. You might find they go in and out of stock as people buy them all and then they're waiting for more stock to come, but keep checking back, and if they're not there currently, they should be back. And this is a little sneak peek of something that is coming. Morning, Lee. If you are a demonstrator, you can already get your hands on this beautiful Waves of the Ocean suite. If you are not currently a demonstrator but would like to become one during this celebration period, while you get your bonus to stamp sets of your choice in your kit, then you can actually add this to your starter kit. So if this is something that makes you go, wow, I want that and I want it now, you can add it to your starter kit and do that before the end of February, and you'll get 2 bonus stamp sets of your choice in your starter kit on top of your £130 worth of product of your choice for £99. So yeah, so really lovely. It's stamps and dies that are going to be available in the annual catalogue, but these beautiful wave rhinestones, the blue foils, and the wave of the ocean 12 by 12 paper is not going to be available in the new catalogue. It will only be available while stocks last. So that is going to be available to customers from the 1st of March. But as I say, if you want it now, you can add it into your starter kit. So there's some news from the home front. Let's have a bit of a slurp of water and have a little look at what we're going to play with today. Now, we have 2 weeks of celebration left. So you have 2 weeks in which you can join up and get those 2 extra stamp sets, or you can host and get an added additional stamp set, or when you shop you get your choice of freebies. And so we're going to be looking at one of those freebies this morning, and this is the Friendly Hello stamp set and Friendly Hello 12 by 12 paper. Really beautiful stamp set, gorgeous papers, and this is free if you place a £90 order. So if your order comes to £90, you can have this stamp set and papers as your free gift. As always, the design team have been creating some beautiful projects that we can see there. Really lovely. And we're going to create some more this morning. So let's have a little bit of a play with the Friendly Hello. So this is the stamp set. Sorry, that's going to shine. Let's do this. That's much better, isn't it? So this is the stamp set, the Friendly Hello stamp set. You've got this gorgeous big hello friend. Hope you have the best birthday. You have my love and support. So those nice little greetings in there. And then these beautiful flowers and this bird and foliage dotty pieces. So lots of things to build up really beautiful cards there. And alongside that gorgeous stamp set, you get the papers. Let me just slide all of these things out. I've been working out measurements and grabbing dies and all those sorts of things. So they are sort of, it's pool party, petal pink, fresh fuchsia, granny apple green. So a really lovely, fresh colour palette. You've got all of these nice flowers in the images. We've got the little bird in there. So really beautiful. And then also, turn that over, that's the purple flowers. You can see that I've been using mine. Spots and stripes and dots. They're just gorgeous papers. All our usual quality DSP. It's not any less of a quality because it's a free item. It is our usual gorgeous DSP. Same quality as you always get. None of that changes just because it is a celebration set. Right. Let me grab from over here the actual stamp set because I've had it out while I've been. Come back to us. Yep, I've had it out while I've been sorting myself out this morning. And I'm going to actually bring in this piece of paper just here. So this is one of the papers out of the DSP, and you can see you've got this big floral image here. And if we have a look in our stamp set, we get it the right way round, that way, that flower fits beautifully over that stamp set. We have the little bobbly stamp here as well that matches that. I think the fern may be asking a bit much to line that up. Yeah, not quite. And the leaves are the same. They don't quite line up, but they nearly do. But that flower and that bobbly bit, those little berries, do line up beautifully over the top of that paper. So we are going to have a bit of a play with that fact. I'll just reach over and grab my blocks. And I'll get my stamping mat. Let's bring that on top of there, because my stamping mat is very well loved. And let's bring in, I think, that one and probably that one. Now, because these do line up beautifully, it does mean that you're able to stamp over the top of these images. You're able to add in extra sort of dimension over the top. I thought we would add in some gold embossing to this. I'm going to get my embossing ready and go over the top of that. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. With some Versamark. Then we will line that up that way. And to bring it towards me just a little bit. Just to try and line that up beautifully over the top, or as beautifully as I can get it. And I can't get my head right over the top. So let's stamp that with Versamark. And then I'm going to take this little bit here, this little berry piece stamp. And again, let's stamp over the top. Right, I'm going to bring in some gold embossing. I don't know why I've gone over the leaves, because those aren't embossed. I have missed slightly. That's a little bit off centre, but that's okay. Let's bring in our heat gun. And let's heat this up. Obviously that will turn a little bit quicker in terms of the embossing powder, just because that is paper rather than card. So now we have that lovely gold embossing in there. I'm also going to bring in this little splatter stamp. So we have some nice white splatters going around these flowers. I'm going to add in a few little gold ones. Let's have a look where we've gone with that. I'm going to add in just a little bit more just over here. Just digging about for a little paintbrush. This one just here has got a bit of a outer line on it. Let's just lose that. And let's heat that up. There we go. And now I think we want to add a little bit of colour around here. I'm going to grab some inks and some daubers, I think. Let me grab my Granny Apple Green and my Pool Party Petal Pink. Rustle, rustle, rustle. And Pale Papaya. No, Fresh Freesia. That's the colours we want. So those are the colours in that paper. Just count some sponge daubers. So let's go Granny Apple Green. Let's just softly add a bit of colour to those leaves. Got some petal pink just here. Let's add a bit of petal pink into the bottom, the centre of these flowers. And we'll pick up a little bit of Fresh Freesia for the outer petals. So using your sponge daubers is just a nice way of just adding in a bit of soft colouring. You're obviously not going to get it perfect. It's going to go over the lines a little bit. But actually, that's okay. I'm going to go back to the petal pink. These little berry pieces. Then let's bring in a bit of pool party, I think. For these ferns. So obviously these flowers have all been left. You've got quite a nice solid area there that you could be colouring with your blends. Chalk paint, the chalks. Oh, that's a bit of a dark bit. To add a bit of pool party around the edge of these leaves as well, just so that it helps them pop out a little bit against the granny apple green background. Right. We've had a real play and really altered the look of that background piece. Let's decide how we want to use this. I'm going to trim up this side, swing it round. Let's have a little look at the cut that to 9.5 just there. So we'll bring this up. To cut it just there. So we've got our coloured panel. I'm going to come back in. Just add a bit of colour in here for those pieces. Okay, there we have a background. Let's cut this to 14.4 by 10. So standard size, first size mat, whatever that looks like. Where you are. Do we want it? I think I'm going to stick with the granny apple green. We'll cut this in half. So that's 10.5 centimetres. We're using metric card. Swing it round and score it. Now, I want to add a bit of detail on that background. might go with this. So the Splatters 3D embossing folder. So this is one of two. You get the stripes and the splatters. Obviously they're not going to show up ever so well on there, but it just is, that one is the splattery effect. So it does look like you've encased a whole load of water in the middle of your embossing folder and made bubbles. And this is the stripy one, which is really quite nice. I'm going to take the splatters one and I'm going to pop this through that splatters embossing folder just to give a bit of a texture down that centre panel. So these are 3D embossing folders, and they are embossing folders that will fit through your mini machine. Obviously, if your cardstock isn't too wide, but as with all embossing folders, you just need a plate number 1 and a plate number 4. And make sure that you run it through hinged end first so that it doesn't break. And now got that nice sort of bubbly splattery effect on the top there. It's going to give that a bit more interest. Thinking I might find another paper to go on the bottom. Let's have a look. Some stripes, I think. Let's cut that to 9.5 centimetres wide. Ooh, not that one, that one. And that's 11. I'm going to cut it just below this granny apple green stripe, and then we can have a play about with it. It can tuck underneath the other one. Because we still want to be able to see that bobbly texture top and bottom. I think something like that. Now let me just run a little bit of that paper across there, match that up so that that pool party stripe is coming across the bottom. And then we will stick all of this down. So the back of the green and white flowery paper is actually that stripy paper. That on there. So we've got some bobbles, top and bottom. Let's bring in some fresh fuchsia ribbon. Wrap that round and stick it on the back. And wrap that around here and stick it on the back. Snip that off with our scissors. I'm going to stick that on there. Let's tie that, thread that underneath that ribbon and tie that in a bit of a knot. And I'll snip those ends off. This is a lovely soft ribbon, quite sheer. And let's come back to our stamp set. And let's look at these greetings. I hope you have the best birthday. You always have my love and support. Hello, friend. So you always have my love and support. And step that with a bit of fresh freesia onto a piece of basic white cardstock. Good enough? Yes, it is. Ooh. You have my love and support. Silly camera. I'm going to take a little bit of fresh freesia cardstock. Add that onto there and cut that off. I think we'll stick that just there. Touch just underneath that ribbon. Bring in a few of these little pastel pearls. These sort of slightly glittery ones. Let's have another one up there. They're very pretty, these pastel pearls. So there we are. So that's just taking some of the DSP and adding some gold embossing to it to give it a bit of bling, and some colour with some sponge daubers, and showing how you can add extra detail to those flowers. Obviously you could have gone in and stamped with one of the other colours. You could have gone in with a darker green or a yellow, or whatever you like, and stamp over the top of there to add more detail. That's entirely up to you, but we sort of stayed within the colour palette. So there's one little card created with that bundle. Now for my next card, let me clear the decks just slightly. Pile up the inks, we might need those. And hang on to our stamps, obviously. Right, for our next card, I'm going to do a bit of a fancy fold. And I thought I would create a double easel card. And I've got some Petal Pink and some Pool Party just there. And I'm going to use find my papers I had on standby. I'm going to use some of this paper and some of this paper. You had a smaller piece of that somewhere. It's wafted onto the floor. I'm going to say we're going to create a double easel fold card, and I think we'll go Petal Pink card base and a blue front piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take my trimmer, and I'm going to cut my Petal Pink card in half. And then score it in half. So in half along the short edge, and score it in half to make a tent fold style card. And then for this second piece, this piece of Pool Party, I'm going to cut this at 10 centimetres wide. Move that to one side. I'm going to open my trimmer out because I'm going to swing it round. I want this to be 27.4. Now when I blog this somewhere along the line, I'll put in some imperial measurements to make an equivalent sort of card. But for now, 27.4 by 10, and then I'm going to score it at 6.5 and 13. So what we should be left with is a piece, if my maths is correct, yes, that is 14.4. It's always good when the maths works out. The trimmer just there for a minute, we will need it. So what I'm going to do with this is going to form the front section of my card, so that will stick on there like a standard mat. Fold that up, fold that down, and we will have our double easel. All that we will need to do then, is decorate that. So that's your standard double easel. So you just need a piece, your tent fold card with a piece on the front with this flap, and obviously these pieces need to be the same size. So you could have a play about with that. You could make square ones. bigger ones, 5x7s. But that's basically what you want, the mat on the front with this extended piece that's going to form your easel. So that's all in one piece. Let's cut ourselves some designer series paper. I'm going to take this pretty petal pink with this sort of all over berry design on it. I'm going to cut this to 13.9, so I want this to go on my back panel piece. So that will be 13.9 by 9.5. That will then sit in there. And then this front piece, so this panel here is 6.5 centimetres by 14.4. So we will need this bit. We need to make sure that our paper is going the right way. If it is, it does have a direction, if it is directional paper. But I'm going to cut this 6 centimetres wide by 9.5 this way. That then will sit on the front there. So those are our papers. I'm going to stick those in place. Just such pretty papers. Lovely colour palette. Really very spring-like. There we go. Right, I'm going to quickly grab a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and I'm going to die cut it with one of the dies from the Hippo and Friend die set. So I've got this nice sort of stitched, I don't know, sort of, it's not quite a rectangle, is it? It's a 6-sided, elongated label shape. So there we go, that's what we're going to use. I'm going to die cut one of these. Jiggle about with my plates. I need to bring back in my number 2 plate and my 2 number 3 plates. Again, this die would have fitted with a mini machine. So many of our dies do. There's not many that won't go through. So there we have that label piece. And I'm going to bring in some watercolour pencils and some Stays On ink. And this little stamp that has the flower and the birds on just here. Just looking around to find my stamping mat. up this stamp. This stays on. Give that a good press down. Perfect. Isn't he cute? A lovely little bird. Now I'm going to get my smallest water painter. Let's add in some petal pink in the middle there. And we'll bring that out. And we're sticking again with the colours in the paper. Obviously, if you weren't using the paper, you could be painting these whatever colour you like. They could be Poppy Parade Red and Mango Melody, or because we're sticking with that pastel-y paper, we'll stick with these more pastel-y colours. It does then have that pop of Granny Apple Green, which is quite a nice bold colour. So although those are stamped in black, the veins are left white, so that does pick up that nice bold colour just there. I'm going to bring in decisions. I'm going to go crumb cake, I think. I'm going to add a bit of green down these branch, but I'll add a bit of brown in as well, just to tone the branches down a little bit. Slightly more mossy colour on that branch, not quite as bright as the to bring in, make him sort of blue. Rested. Let's just have a little bit of petal pink around his eye. And then we'll come in with some crumb cake on his feathers. So we've not used a massive amount of different colours. Just bring in a bit of this crumb cake around the top of his head. He's rather cute. come in again with Pool Party and just add in a bit more just there. And then what I'm going to do is add in some water to my lid. Water this down. And let's just add a touch of really watered down Pool Party. To the background. And we'll find that little splatty stamp again. And this is still going to be a bit wet, so they might sort of spread out a little bit, but that's okay. So there we have a little picture to add to our card front. Let me just close up these ink pads. I've already got pink on that one. Right, so we have our card front here, and we have our little picture to go on there. Let's bring in the ribbon around the top there to sit behind there. And then we need a greeting. I like this hello friend. I think we should have that coming in down there somehow. Just looking to see, so that's the next size down and die from that one. So I think let's cut one of those on the same shimmery white cardstock, so get that all lays in. This one, I think. I've got some black embossing powder here. Let's stamp. Plonked that on some ink pads. Let's get our hello friend and our Versamark. Find our little embossing buddy. Let's ink up this hello friend. It is quite a big stamp. So let's not be shy. I'm going to press down. I've got my mat underneath here. And let's bring in some black embossing powder. So if you come to look for black embossing powder in the catalogue, you will find 2 packs. So one is the sort of the basics with the black and the white and the clear, and the other is the metallics, which is the gold and silver and copper. I think they're all essentials. We need them all. Let's just brush that off that edge just there. Hello, friend. Don't know about you, but I have Art Garfunkel songs going round in my head. But we don't want hello darkness, my old friend. We just want hello friend. Let's heat that up. Just angled it slightly so it's catching the light. Oh, I just caught that. And I can see where it's turning shiny. Just caught the edge of that with my finger while it was still sticky. That's not good. Right, where's that brush gone? Let's bring back in our Pool Party ink. And let's just add a bit of a watercolour wash to this, so that also ties in at the top. We've got on here a little flower. Take a bit more of this shimmery white. Where have you gone? Let's take this stays on and stamp that. Pop your lid straight back on your stays on because it is alcohol based ink. It will evaporate very quickly. Let's just come back in with these colours, so a bit of petal pink in the middle there. Fading out to some fresh fuchsia. Add in a bit more ink to make that a bit darker. Let's grab some granny apple green for that leaf. And for these leaves, I'm going to pop in a little bit of granny apple green. Excuse me. I'm back. An exciting looking parcel. I will have a look at that in a moment. And then let's take a bit of Pool Party just to make that slightly more bluey green, a different colour from the other leaves. I'll take a pair of paper snips. Now I am not going to try and cut all around these leaves just here. We're going to cut it out, leaving a bit of a border. Coming around this leaf. Around the little flowers. So moving your paper rather than your scissors. We'll just add in a little touch of blue around the edges and in the middle so that that ties in, because then we can stick that up on our little greeting just there. Okay, let's stick this together. So we've stuck that on there. Let's take this ribbon, work out where we need it to go. Just there, I think. Let's take some double-sided tape and just pop that on the back. Now, I think I'm going to pop that upon some dimensionals. And we need to make sure we put a few on, just because this is card that's been watercoloured. So it is going to, it does naturally curl a little bit once it's been watercoloured. So let's make sure we have enough on there to hold it nice and firm. So I've put them down each edge so it sort of straddles that ribbon. Like that. A little bit wonky, I think. And there's our little bird. And my little sentiment. I think I'm going to put to one side just for a bit of, just because I can. Let's add in our little flower. And to tie a bow with this beautiful sheer pool party ribbon, and we'll have that side, so that will offset the fact that this is coming on a bit of an angle then. Glue dot. And have a glue dot in there. And then trim off that ribbon. We need to stick this entire card piece here to our card base, so let's do that now. So our whole card will open up and we can put an insert in there, either adding in some more of that paper or a little bit of stamping or something. And then I think I'm going to go champagne rhinestones for this one. And let's add a couple up here. So there we go. So you've got this double easel. It'll sort of stand like that. You don't get a very good vision of it standing, but I will take some photos of it later. So there's that little hello friend double easel card, and the little card we made, adding in some colour to that paper with our sponge daubers. So a couple of fun little cards created with this friendly hello stamp set and the coordinating papers that go with it. And it is a money can't buy product. The only way you can get your hands on this is by choosing lots of other lovely products. So with a £90 order, you can choose to put this friendly hello stamp set and paper bundle in your basket as a thank you gift, but only up until the 28th of February. So you've got 2 weeks to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed that little fancy fold and that nice and simple card, just adding colour with sponge daubers. I will be back on Friday for some more fun with another celebration set. So do come back and join me then. I would love to see you. Have a fabulous week, everybody.